Hello, everyone. Thanks for actually joining Zluri 2.0 session today. Without much ado, let me start. So today's session is about introducing Zluri 2.0 for all of you guys. Just before that, a quick introduction. My name is Chaithanya. I'm the CTO and the co-founder of Zluri. We started Zluri almost about 4.5 years ago right now, working towards ensuring that we're able to get visibility into application stack and working towards building an identity governance and administration platform today. Now, with that, we realized that in the last 4.5 years journey, where we started and where we have achieved over there, we realized the need for a new platform experience. The reason that this was evident for us, and this was something that we realized when we started our journey towards identity governance and administration modules, was that when we started Zluri, our vision was to build a SaaS management platform. When we realized that we are able to extract, we're able to connect with multiple different applications and then essentially get in a lot of data points itself onto Zluri, we realized that this is going to be very, very important for us, that we help teams gain visibility into their SaaS environments and help them with SaaS discovery and also ensure that they're able to manage these SaaS applications really well. So with the fundamental focus that we started at Zluri for, slowly that platform started evolving. We realized that we can actually offer a lot more with the data that we're able to collect from these applications as well. We realize that, hey, we can not only use the information that we have, the data that we collected, not just giving you information about your licenses, your cost, and the applications that you're actually using inside the organization, but also help you manage the access to these particular applications, govern these particular applications as well, because we're able to understand how each of the employees are actually using these applications itself over there, and also help companies in ensuring that their SaaS ecosystem is a lot more secure. So with these evolving needs, we realized that our interfaces, which we've essentially built out for SaaS management platforms specifically, will have to be completely rethought. So about 2 years ago, when we started out our journey towards actually building a new Zluri V2.0 interface itself, it took us we completely had to rethink every single aspect about what we are actually building right now today and what's important for the end user as well. So after almost 2 years right now, so I'm proud to present Zluri 2.0 for you with these expanded capabilities together. Every single page that you currently see has been completely rethought end to end to give you very, very good information right now, good insights. I'll just get to some of these particular points a lot more in detail, but the experience is kind of designed to ensure that you get your information faster and you're able to get the information a lot more smarter, and more importantly, it's a lot more simple to navigate this interface as well for you. Our mission has always been to help organizations to get most of their application stack that they currently use today by providing with them the insights that are easily understandable and, more importantly, actionable. So today we talk about actually connecting to almost hundreds of sources itself that we are able to get the information from. It's extremely important that we are making this information easily available to you so that you can view this information without much complexity, without much basically ensuring that you're able to easily understand the information, get the necessary insights from this information right now, and also action on these particular insights. That's been the main goal for this design. And with that, we started out with Zluri 2.0. With Zluri 2.0, so a couple of important things that you actually start observing over there is that, so the information architecture has been very well carefully thought out so that you'll actually see very carefully designed unified page layouts for every single page right now. You'll actually have the primary navigation right now, which is specifically on the extreme left-hand side. Then you'll actually have the secondary navigation, and the information that's actually present to you is actually front, right, and center. And the rest of the information that could be secondary right now for you is presented on the extreme right corners. Now, with this proper information architecture over there, we also defined how should you want to consume the information as well. So the important summary metrics that you'd want to actually get right away is actually positioned right at the top, so that you understand, hey, these are my summary metrics. You are able to get the clean visuals of that information right now, and you get that information instantly. Below that right now, you'll also have the information where you're able to, you'll have interactive graphs that you can play around with and to kind of and to kind of get the insight that you're looking for, to kind of ensure that this information is further let's say modifiable, something that you can splice and dice this information right now in easily consumable format right now, and you're able to get this information for you. And below that, you'll also actually start seeing the information wherein below that you'll actually start to get the exact data. So information, if you look at it, it's a 3-tier layout right now. First is the direct information that you can directly consume right now. These are important numbers itself or important metrics that you should actually be able to understand for, and you should be able to get that information in easily consumable format. The next one is your interactable graphs or widgets that you can actually use, play around with, understand this information, slice and dice the information, and you're able to get that data points itself. And below that is your complete layout right now, where you'll actually have your exact complete data information. If you want to deep down into this information, add more columns and filter this data from your scenarios itself, you'll be able to do that. So the layout has been structured to ensure that we are able to give you a very consumable data right now, depending on your scenarios and your use cases itself. So along with that, what we've also sort of realized is that Zluri is a platform which is extremely data heavy. And that means that, hey, you need to configure the platform for your specific scenarios before you can start using the application or the data that's currently there on the platform. It could be for SMP side of things, or SaaS management side of things, or for identity governance and administration side of scenarios. It's extremely important that you have certain checklists that you're able to complete for every single entity that's there itself right now, typically your application entities, to ensure that all the data that you're able to see the platform has actually gone through these particular checklists right now, so that you're able to rely on the data points that you currently see. With this, we also wanted to give you a lot more information on the data tables. So again, Zluri being a very, very heavy data platform right now, it's important that these data is easily consumable. You're able to splice and dice this information right now. You're able to find some more data points itself. You're able to share these particular data points with your other administrators itself right now. So we wanted to ensure that this experience is as smooth as possible for you. So with that, we made a lot of changes onto the data tables that actually come up on Zluri. The first one being is that we've built in something called as quick filters. So you don't need to fumble around with a lot of filters itself right now. You can just essentially have these most common used quick filters that you can actually use right now, wherein depending on the view that you're actually looking at itself, you'll be able to click on these quick filters itself, and you automatically apply a cohort of these particular filters, which are designed for specific use cases. So this is something that's been extremely helpful. I would really suggest to try this out. Along with that, we wanted to ensure that you're able to filter every single column that's currently that the information is actually showing up. And you don't need to fumble around with multiple different filters and going around with multiple different scenarios. So in order to be able to sort this particular column or filter this column right now, it's directly available in the interface itself, so that you can click on this and filter the information that you're looking for, or sort this particular information that you're looking for, simple and easy. With this, we also have something called as, we also expanded the amount of columns or the amount of data points that you can see for every single entity that's currently there on Zluri. So you can actually select these particular columns right now that you're looking for. You can search, you can define what sort of entity that you want. So you can sort out the columns in the order that they actually come up on the screen. This is something that we've realized that customers actually use a lot, especially because they want specific action data points that they can export with, that they can keep a tab on. So this information right now has been superbly useful for them. Along with this, we've also made a lot of changes towards the visual dashboards itself. So we wanted to make them very interactable, something that actually that you can understand certain trends and some certain metrics, which are very, very easy for you to actually get that information or insight from itself. For example, so on every single application right now, we wanted to showcase, hey, where are we getting this data from? What are the sources that we are getting the information from? And how do you define these particular sources as well? If you want to slice and dice this information across departments right now, if you want to slice and dice the information with multiple different sources, this is going to be superbly simple and easy for you that you can understand and get certain insights on which of these users are actually using for what departments right now, how are they using, how are they connecting this application as well right now. So this information is very, very simple and easy for you to actually consume. Similar to this, on the SaaS management side of things itself, so we wanted to also give you a very insightful view on how the license trend is actually changing, so that if you wanted to understand, hey, how many licenses should I procure at the end of the year, and what's the trend has been, so that right now, so that if the usage of these applications has been steadily decreasing, what's the cost of this particular information of these licenses that has actually been trending since last few years. You'll also be able to see that information along with the trend line that will actually give you based on the previous data points as well, so that you can make a better analysis and as well as better judgment when you're going for renewals. Now, one of the important aspects for SaaS management platform side of scenarios was essentially ensuring that the department spends are completely clearly visible for you whenever you're doing your chargebacks. So we gave you a lot more insights on delving deeper into multiple different departments or your sub departments right now to understand how the spend breakdown is actually happening between between a single application right now, between multiple departments of a single application right now. You'll be able to slice and dice that information, and you'll also be able to understand the trend of this particular usage for the past few months or quarters itself on the application. And very importantly, every single information that you currently see on the platform, every single data point that you currently see on the platform, we wanted to ensure that you're able to download that information for your reporting purposes right now, or you want to present it, you want to do a separate presentation of this information right now. We definitely wanted to ensure that this information is easily available to you, either as CSVs or PDFs, or if you, PNGs or PDFs. If you want to understand the raw data that's actually powering this particular graph or chart itself, you'll be able to download that information without any issues immediately over there. One important thing, especially on the spend scenarios, was cleaning up our chargeback settings, especially when you have thousands and when you have hundreds of departments right now, and then every application has a different way of actually calculating chargeback settings. So we have updated the information to either do it by a top-down approach itself, wherein you're setting which departments, how do you want to distribute these spends across multiple different departments right now, and what's the second mode of actually dividing up these particular spends. Or you can always do a bottom-up approach wherein we understand which users are using this application right now in that particular month of which department, and we bubble up those particular costs so that you'll be able to get that information, which is a lot more simpler and easier. So we are able to modify these particular things directly on the platform as well. And with that, summary of this Zluri Week 2.0 updates before I jump into the demo right now is, hey, we have quick filters. We are able to actually build new checklists right now. And more importantly, we have very, very clean customized UI right now that you'll be able to see this particular information with. And there are a lot of these smaller items which I'll actually take you through as a part of our demo right now over there. So without much ado, let me actually show you that itself. Before that, all the folks who are currently on V.1, how do you want to switch to version 2.0? So it's actually quite simple. So you can, we essentially made V2.0 available directly on the platform, where you can come and click on that particular button and you can always jump to 2.0. At any point in time for the next whole month, you can actually shift to 1.0 right now, because we're still understanding, we're still taking feedback from the customers itself right now. We'll be making some more modifications, and Zluri V1.0 is going to be available for a month more. So you can always switch back to 1.0 at your convenience right now. And with that, let me quickly jump into the platform. Okay, so this is the Zluri 1.0 platform right now, as you can see. So we have this huge header, which essentially talks about how you can actually directly switch to the version 2.0 right now. Or I can actually have this huge button over here. I can click on the 2.0 button over there. It takes a couple of seconds, registers your consent right now, and then goes on to 2.0 platform. Again, as you see, we have a new left tab bar itself right now. We have this application switcher itself, which is kind of different from what you can see earlier itself right now. You can actually switch between multiple products of Zluri, you can actually switch between identity governance administration product versus SaaS management product itself right now. We will be adding a few more products in this case itself. So this essentially this is the first place where you can actually start to get to that. But along with that right now, the first and foremost thing over here is that once you're able to see, again, on a very high level right now, you have a clean user interface over there. You have a huge search bar right now. We will be replacing the search bar with a Zluri AI agent itself very, very soon. We are actually running we are actually running an EA program right now with a couple of our customers at the moment right now. So we're expecting this particular thing to get launched this quarter, wherein this Zluri AI agent is going to be available to you right now. But even today, you can actually have the entire search bar to search for any entity on the platform directly. You have your immediate notifications, whatever you're looking for. You will actually have any of the important tasks that are actually set out for you as well. And along with that, at any time right now, you can actually have your self centers, you can have your support, and you can at any time submit a feedback right now so that you can give that information about Zluri V2 right over here. I'll come into that at that point in time right now. But for now, you have my entity is Zluri, and this is my account. I can jump to version 1 at any time that of my choosing. With that, let me get into a few of these particular changes that we're talking about. So as you can see, this is the new interface over there. If I'm actually looking at a smaller screen, so I can always hide these particular information right now, but it automatically adjusts based on your width of your screen itself over there. On depending on your resolution of the screen right now, it automatically adjusts in that scenario. Along with this, so one of the important things that actually comes up is that, hey, we have the secondary navigation right now for all of these applications, but on the top, you'll be able to navigate across multiple different classifications of applications right now. All applications unmanaged, restricted, easily once it's up. As I was actually talking about, you have this first view wherein you'll be able to see a list of all the information. I can make some modifications, save as a custom view right now, or I can ensure that this particular view is set as default for me, or if I'm an admin or an owner of the whole entity, Zluri tenant right now, I can set this default for my whole organization so that whenever they land on this particular page, this becomes the default view for them. As I mentioned right now, you can always have these quick filters where I'm able to filter with this information right now very quickly to look at the applications which have just licenses. On this particular view, I can also look at application without spends. Before getting to the filter side of things over there, you have your search, where I can search for multiple entities. In version 2.0 right now, you can choose between infinite scroll, or you can actually have a pagination sort of button right now. I can say I want to paginate right now with 20 per page over there. You can choose these particular settings and you can start using them. One important thing is the columns that I was talking about as well, right? So there are 70 different columns itself right now only on the application page. I can choose what sort of columns at what order they should actually be coming up as well. I can actually drag and drop some of these particular things and update these columns so that I'm able to see all this information immediately. You can add a quick application right now, and you also have a lot more settings over here. One other important thing that I want to get over here is depending on your screen resolution as well, you can choose to change the density to a more comfortable setting right now, which means it gives you a lot more height for each of these particular entities as well, which will actually help you to understand each of these applications a lot more bigger, depending on your resolution of resolution of your screen. Now, one important thing that we definitely wanted to ensure is that, hey, you can actually export this particular view immediately as a CSV or an Excel, based on your choice, or you can always do a custom export. You can understand, hey, what are the columns that you want to select right now? Do you want to only select with the filtered views over there? Do you want to actually schedule this particular export itself right now? Do you want to do recurring export itself so that any table that you're currently seeing on the application right now, you'll be able to get a recurring, you'll be able to export that information as mentioned in a very, very easy manner. With that, let me get into a little bit more deeper inside each of the columns over there. So I can understand every single information over the column. So what this column denotes, what am I talking about right now? Be able to see more information over the columns over there. I can also see which is the current sorted order right now. I can click on the ones itself and change the order over there. I can hide this column if I do not want to. I can filter this column as well so that I'm able to quickly look at users itself who are more than 500 right now, and I can apply the filter immediately over there so that I'm able to see this information with the settings that I'm actually looking for. Now with this, let me also just get into let's get in a little bit more deeper for each of the applications. So I'll get into one application. Let's talk about Okta in this case right now. As I mentioned as well, right? So this sidebar, it gives you a very high level of information about what application, what's the status of this application, who's the owner of this application. This is quick information that you're able to find out. You can also know the information about, hey, what data points am I actually getting this information from? So when are we showing this data points itself right now? What data should we actually look into? What's the primary source of this data? I'm able to see that information very simple and easy. And along with this, there are important nodes that I'm actually looking at right now. I can always add the note itself over there. I can highlight these notes itself so that my users can actually see this information. Or whenever I'm actually coming back to this one itself right now, I know that there are certain nodes that I need to look for. I can have this information anytime feasible over there. As I was mentioning, there's a checklist right now that's currently available. So in order for me to look in this particular data points right now, I've connected the data integration, I've connected the contracts, I've added the spends of this application over there. I haven't finished up chargeback settings right now. I can review this particular thing and complete that over there. I haven't set up continuous optimization yet right now. So this is a checklist of applications that I can actually do over here. Along with this, rest of the other secondary sort of actions that you can do on this application are kind of hidden over here so that these are not primary for you and this is not interacting right now. As mentioned right now, you'll get the first layer itself of important metrics that you can quickly and easily grasp. These are the active users integration that you're looking at. These are spends that have currently happened right now. How many licenses that have been assigned over there. I don't have an upcoming contract date at the moment right now. So you'll be able to see that information. And I can also splice and dice this information across multiple users. Either these are service accounts that are currently available over there. All the users right now, how many licenses actually assigned right now across all these departments as well. I can be able to see that. If I want to understand at a very quick glance itself, hey, where are the optimizable users across all these particular applications? I'll be able to see that information over there and get that data points as well. Now, with this, you can also, again, right, so these are all the important information that you can actually quickly glance. But this is the overview section of each application right now. When you go to the about section over here, so this information is what you're talking about, wherein I'm able to see the information about this. So we had another previous session where we mentioned that, hey, all the application catalog data is something that we can continuously sync with g2.com so that this information is always relevant and always available to you guys as well. So we get that information along with the other alternate applications, similar application used inside the organization right now. Maybe see all that applications and all the information metadata of this particular application in terms of who's the owner, IT owner, number of contracts, who's the contract owners, what's the custom fields if I actually able to build something else, all up common in this particular about section of this particular application for me. With that, I'll just quickly get into the user section itself over this so that we can deep dive a few more things itself right now in this page. Now, while this is actually happening as well, right? So one important thing that we wanted to actually talk about is that every single application, every single field that you currently see on the page right now has a lot more metadata. So for example, if I'm looking at assigned licenses, I click on this license information, I'm able to see that information. Again, you don't need to actually click on this particular thing, go to a specific page to see that simple information right now. I also have quick actions that I can immediately take in then and there itself. So if I want to configure the license that for this particular user, I can modify that then and there itself. So all this information is actually provided to you inside the column so that you don't have to navigate across multiple different pages and see that information over there. Along with this, if you want to see information about a specific user, again, there are these action cards or the detail cards that actually open up for every single important point that you want to see over here right now. So that for Okta, this particular user over there, how many licenses have been assigned right now? What's the roles that have been assigned? How many accounts does this particular person have? Again, in the same sort of order that we are actually looking at. The important highlight information, and then the details actually flow up. Similar to that, what's the activity log? What are the sources of this information? Where are we getting this data from? If there are any security scenarios that we've actually identified as well right now, all this information actually comes up over here. So with this, one of the important things that we also spoke about is actually redesigning our entire contracts and licenses page. So as I mentioned over there, you'll be able to see a list of all the licenses that are currently being used right now. What's the cost of these particular licenses that have actually come up over there? I can actually look at a little bit more details around how many licenses that are being mapped right now. Again, we are looking at a dummy account right now, but how many licenses that are being mapped right now? What's the cost of these particular licenses? Be able to see all that information. I'm also able to check out the different licenses that's currently there. If there are any contracts that are actually existing at the moment right now, or looks like this contract just got expired a couple of days ago over here. So that's the reason there's no active contract at the moment right now, but I'm able to see all this information very clear and easy. We've also redesigned the optimization page as well so that you can understand, hey, what are the optimization runs you have? How many rules we have set up over there right now? I can go into each of these particular sections over there and understand that how many optimizable licenses do I currently have? How is that trend changing over on day or day on day or month on month at the moment right now? I can always come in, change the dates itself over there. I can look at only for this particular month right now, and I can also get that information very, very simply and easy so that I'm able to understand that information really well. Or else I can, based on this data point, I can click on optimize now. I can look at this information over there about the list of optimization that I can actually run for the specific application. Again, all these interfaces have been newly developed to ensure that you actually are able to see this particular data points clear and easy. With this, we've also actually made the modifications on a lot of spend data. One is, hey, on the top, you can actually see who's the owner for the financial owner of this particular person. What are the data points that we're getting the spend data from right now? You'll be able to see that I'm getting this information from NetSuite. And if you want to configure certain budgets and alerts right now, that's directly over there. Again, it follows the same navigation protocols right now. The first is the settings part and the important information about what data points that you're actually seeing below. And every single information right now, you'll also be able to understand. I can actually refresh the data, download the data in PNG, download the CSV of this information over there. It's exactly made to ensure that it's kind of similar as well as follows the same sort of design language that we actually set up for the entire application. With this, one of the changes that I was actually talking about was in the chargeback side of things over there, where if you have multiple different structure of departments as well right now, you'll be able to divide up these particular costs based on the configured amount itself over there. So I can always say that configure this from bottom-up approach based on active users or based on license users. I'll be able to set that up and save this information right now so that it takes a couple of minutes right now for based on the newly setting configured right now, it goes and actually applies this information over here. You can always set this up from a top-down sort of approach and say that, hey, the first one is based on these departments, and based on that itself, the next one I want to base it on active users. I can add a specific department right now and add this particular departments without any problems over here. That's kind of what we set it out right now over here. Before getting into other information, give me a second. What we've also done right now is, again, the user section have also been completely modified so that you'll be able to see the list of all the users and understand users information in the new table. Again, we are working on actually enhancing some of this particular data points itself for the new V2.0 interface itself right now. That's currently work in progress, but all the information that you currently see is something that's been built out in the last couple of quarters. And more importantly, we want to ensure that the same design language and the design hypothesis is actually going through all of these particular applications at the moment right now. Any single particular interface, any single module that we built in Zluri's platform goes with this particular design language today. One important thing that I want to actually mention that out is, hey, this is available for across all of our customers at the moment right now. So there is, again, we're considering a lot of feedback. We're actually making a lot of modifications and so we are enhancing this particular capabilities. If there's any particular area where you want us to improve right now, please do give us a feedback. It's there in the support section. You can submit a quick feedback to us right now, and we'll take in the feedback very, very seriously. So we go through every single feedback item that you actually share with us itself right now. We'll consider this feedback for us itself and ensure that that feedback is validated and then implemented if it makes complete sense for us. So that's on a very high level of what we've actually built out at Zluri. With that, give me a second. I wanted to check if you guys have any sort of questions today. Yes. Anonymous. So the first question is yes. Give me a second. Yes. Yes. So all the this was something that was actually tasking for us, but all the existing workflows and settings will be carried over automatically to Zluri 2.0. So this is something that we will ensure that it actually works, and even today it works without any particular issues. That's definitely given a case. The second question is, till what date will Zluri V1 be available? Zluri V1 will be available until for your scenarios until end of August. That's the current timeline right now. So at any point in time right now, you can switch between version 1 and version 2 based on your interests and based on your scenarios itself over there. But we are making Zluri V2 better and better itself. So Post August, or let's say from September onwards itself. Right now, Zluri V2.0 will be the default for all the users. Any other questions that you have for me? Yes. The other question that's coming up is that, hey, will V2 version have all the modules that we have today? Absolutely, yes. So V2.0 version will have all the modules that you actually have, and we are introducing a lot more modules for exclusive for V2.0. So that's primarily built out to ensure that you get the new experience a lot more. The new modules, new features that we're actually working on right now are exclusive V2.0 capabilities itself over there. Um, uh, Again, couple of them are, we are actually introducing a new BI dashboard right now where you can actually modify you can modify the dashboards that you're looking across the platform up to your own scenario. So we're making like a complete BI tool inside the platform right now. That's only for this thing, only for V2.0. Along with that, I also mentioned that we're actually launching Zluri Copilot, which is going to be your command key interface, wherein you can actually come and ask questions itself right now, do analysis on the platform over there completely on V2.0 experience. But to answer your question right now, every V1 module, every V1 action that you currently see right now, every column that you currently see right now should be available in V2.0. Any questions at all that you have for me? Okay. Yes, the agent should actually answer all the questions from any of them sort of modules. So there are close to about 23 different entities that we have on Zluri. Hopefully, once we actually make it to GA, I will come and present this out in this quarter right now on how you can actually use Zluri's new agentic AI system right now, that you can actually answer questions across modules. You can actually ask questions like, why is my data something like this today? So again, it has all the reasoning capabilities also baked in as well right now. Again, we're launching we're doing an early access with a few customers, learning from them, getting feedback from them right now. If any of you want to actually be part of the early access program, please reach out to your CSMs. We shall be very, very happy to include you as a part of the early access program, so that you can give us more feedback, more data points itself that we can better perfect before we're doing an early access. Again, just an FYI, Zluri V2.0 was in early access for almost about 8 months. So we collected a lot of feedback right now from these customers over there, and implemented most of the feedback right now, which was very relevant for where we are essentially heading towards to. So when it's only when we're completely confident that this makes sense is when we've launched this particular as of GA. Okay, with that, thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks for your time. Again, as I mentioned, please use V2.0. If there are any questions, please reach out to your CSMs itself. And if there's any feedback that you want to give, again, this feedback directly goes to me as well as the product managers itself. You can directly click on the button and submit the feedback over there. This feedback is something that we take very, very seriously. Please do give us the feedback right now. Thank you.